Your ego has the power to destroy your life. By ego, I mean your pride, your inflated sense of self, your collection of beliefs about you that you say is true because you said so. I have a belief that there isn't any good reason for you to not try and grow and develop as a person. I think in trying to improve ourselves, we enrich our lives. Today, I'm here to tell you not to let your ego control you, because in doing so, I think that it could ruin your life. You'll never be able to grow or move past your plateaus. I think having a big ego makes you complacent, arrogant, and unable to deal with failure. I think the word ego has a negative connotation. I also think that most of us don't believe that we have big egos. We believe that we're humble in our approach to life, and we believe that we know who we are. But I have a couple questions for you that I'd like you to think on, and we're going to tackle some of these in this video. Maybe there's something that you didn't realize about yourself that maybe you can change for the better. Why are you so sure of yourself? Is it confidence or is it ego that is guiding your choices? If someone attacked your belief of self, how would you respond? Have you ever been stuck doing something for a long time or addicted to something and unable to, for some reason, move past it? How good are you at dealing with failure or mistakes? Do you believe that there's room for you to still grow, or are you at the limit in your life? Let me give you an example of how ego affects your life. Maybe you're trying to make positive changes to your physical or mental health or your environment. Your ego will tell you you know the best exercises, you know what to read, you know the best places to go. And if you don't know, you're capable of finding the answer perfectly fine on your own. And I'm a big advocate for people figuring out stuff on their own and trying to figure them out. But I also think that listening to others, even if you don't take their advice, is a great way to understand more about the world and maybe things about yourself. And you never know, you might miss something. I believe that soon on this path, you eventually lose something vital to your growth and development. Curiosity. Specifically, curiosity free from ego. Your ability to question things, even yourself, I think is extremely important for any human being to be able to do. Now, some people are lucky, but not everyone around them has people who will question you, who will challenge you on your thoughts and beliefs. But if we have the ability to be curious and we can think, then we can solve a lot of our problems, or we can make steps to solving our problems by just using our own brain, which is pretty awesome. Most importantly, though, curiosity helps you identify the worst possibilities of life, including your own faults. Curiosity leads us to self-acceptance and understanding of just how flawed we can be as human beings. When you lack curiosity, you become complacent. How can you really see your own flaws if you're too overconfident? Or let's think about this. What if you label yourself something negative and you're not very curious? You're not going to think about it. It just is. And if it is, then what do? I mean, why even bother looking for ways to grow if you already know everything? You're good where you are right now. And it's exactly why some people stay in the exact same place in their life, even though they don't like it, for the rest of their lives. It's a lot easier than trying something that challenges you or might result in failure. And in my opinion, it's an easy way to tell if your ego is running your life based on the way that you react to failure. How do you react when things go wrong? What do you take away from failure? Do you think, oh, well, I made this mistake and you know what, I wasn't very good at this, and you really understand how much you did not meet whatever standard it was to do what you needed to do? Or are you going to sit there and you're going to go, man, I hate myself. I hate this. I hate the world. Everything's wrong. And then you just start down this whole negative tirade. If your ego is too big, you're going to find failure a major obstacle. See, when you experience failure and things don't go your way, you're going to find that very hard to accept. Why did you fail? I mean, there's no reason for you to fail. Why? You scratch your head and you can't figure it out. You don't understand. Why are you messing up? Why are you self-sabotaging? Maybe you just refuse to accept what happened as failure, so you try to change it. You're looking for a way to cope with what happened, with the fact that you failed. So maybe you call your failure something else. You put a different label on it, and you hide from it, you run from it, so that way you can feel protected. But deep down, you didn't meet yours or someone else's expectations, and that's going to eat away at you. It's going to eat away at you like nothing else, because deep down, you're smart enough to know the truth. Eventually, more whys enter your mind. Why are you getting distracted from your goal? Why are you unable to perform at the level that you desire? And if you can't even think of a reason why you failed or something didn't work, that's a pretty scary or dangerous place to be. Now, if you approach it calmly, you might be able to find an answer. I mean, naturally, when things go wrong, your mind actively tries to think for solutions, for answers, so that negative things don't repeat. So I want you to think for a second. Imagine if you have a problem that has no solution. What other choice do you have in life when it comes to your own growth and development? I mean, what do you do? What happens to you? And for some people, You have unsolvable problems. You have emotions that you can't control in the face of adversity, or if not control, you can't accept. You can't think of the why. You can't think of why things are happening because a part of you does not want to accept the fact that you're so flawed that it could happen. You couldn't express humility. You can't accept the mistake. You can't say that you weren't as good as you thought you were and then just move forward. In the worst of worst scenarios, you're the person who never got your act together in some aspect of your life. And maybe you tried, maybe you give it a really good effort, but after trying again and again, you start losing confidence, and that'll wear anybody down. Eventually, you stop believing in yourself entirely. There's no need to be curious about what positive changes you can make because you've already tried enough, and now you need a way to cope. And you need to cope with it. You need to make sense with it. Your mind is begging you, asking you to figure out what it is that happened. Because everyone wants to do well and everyone wants to succeed. And well, if it's not happening, surely there must be a reason. So you tell yourself something different. You tell yourself something about the world, something about yourself, or maybe about your past. Maybe it's not your fault. It's something else's fault from way back when. You do this to make up for what you feel is lacking, for what you feel like is unfair. Maybe you label yourself something. Maybe you say something like, you're just a loser. So it makes sense that you lost, that you should lose. Does that sound like a logical thought to you? Just think about it. Let me ask you realistically, someone with this mindset, how often do you think they're going to be able to win when they're thinking like this? What I said earlier isn't to discredit that people have struggles and people have reasons for life being difficult and being hard. In fact, I would argue that in understanding that these things have made life hard and understanding that they increase the challenge and difficulty of things is one of the first steps to accepting maybe how fucked up you really are. And that sucks. But you got to understand that first as you start moving forward to a more positive direction. I think the issue in this scenario is that you're not looking inwards. You can't really move forward, and it's almost like you're clinging on to your pride so you don't have to try again. Even if you're in the worst place, the worst part of your life, there might be something that you can do, even if it's something small that you can do to improve your life, to make things better. But having a big ego, that's going to prevent you from seeing it. A big part of having a really big ego is a reluctance to accept new ideas, to learn more things. It's this arrogance that comes with it, especially when those things damage your perception of self. So here's my dumb advice. You need to let go, accept who you are for what you are, your weaknesses, all the bad, and just accept that this is something that you struggle with. This is a part of you, and it's something that you're going to have to work on, maybe harder than you would like. Before this video ends, I wanted to make a note on my own ego and how the things I've talked about is a terrible combination for perfectionists. My ego is my greatest flaw. I struggle to accept failure. I don't want to feel embarrassed. I don't want to have to start over. I think I'm smarter than the mistakes I make, which is funny because I made the mistake. Also, ironically, I think that starting over wastes time. And well, I don't want to waste time. I'm afraid of time running out. But with a large ego, without accepting what went wrong and realizing I have to keep chipping away, I have to keep trying to make things better, I'm only going to waste more time in the long run. I don't want to have to struggle through things, especially when I think I figured them out. It's this sense of entitlement. I especially feel frustrated when I feel like I've succeeded one day and then I fail the next. I eat healthy one day and then I eat bad the next. I get confused because I already figured that out. I know what to eat. I know what I'm supposed to eat. So then why would I do something so stupid? This feeling that you feel, this kind of anxiety about failing or not doing things well, only increases when you're desperate, when you're sad, when you're depressed, when you feel like you need to make a change. You have to make one. And it's just not working no matter what you're doing. The failure hurts more. It hurts more when you're alone. It hurts more when you think you're the only one going through the same thing. And you try, and you tell yourself that this time things are going to be different. This time you're going to get your diet in order. This time you're going to get your finances in order. This time you're going to do that. And you build up all this energy and all this momentum, and then you still fail. It's crushing. Because when you're in a dark place, when you're struggling to even get up in the first place, you giving all the energy to try may have been your last ditch effort. It may have been your last bit of energy. You were willing. You said something to yourself. You said, I'm going to try this one more time, and if it doesn't work, it's done. And the truth is, you just didn't know what to do. You didn't look enough for the answer. There's something that you missed because it's possible for you to succeed. So I know that a lot of people in that position, like myself, will beat ourselves up. And I'm going to ask you a question. The question is, what do you get from beating yourself up? What do you get from doing that? Is that really going to push you in a positive direction to eventually get over whatever this thing is that you want to overcome? Now, the last thing I wanted to touch on is perfectionism. Now, this is a big one. And if you're somebody who is a perfectionist watching this video, then this is going to hit home. It's probably already hit home on a lot of points. Me personally, when I fail and I've tried and I've tried and tried again, I generally start spiraling. I start spiraling down negative thoughts, negative behaviors, everything that is bad. I just cannot seem to keep it together. And I, didn't really know why. I sit there and I start reminding myself of my past failures, and then become more and more negative. And then that's when you start making those labels about yourself, about the world, about what's happening. And it's harder for you to really take accountability because you're so emotionally wrapped up in what's happening. When I fail, I end up very confused. I thought I did everything that I was supposed to do. But as we discussed, I tried everything that I knew, but not everything that I could do. There's more to learn. And more importantly than that, you have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself for not being perfect. You have to forgive yourself for not having the answer all the time. And sometimes you have to be patient with yourself. If you're a perfectionist, spiraling is easy. You'll always find something that's wrong with yourself, with the world, in the back of your mind. It's always there, locked and loaded, ready to go. You can't accept the fact that you're imperfect. All it takes is small failures, the smallest things, to send you into a frenzy of negative thought. You give up on trying, you phone in life because of it. It could be something so small. Maybe you didn't wake up when you should. And with people who have it really bad, waking up an hour or two later and they're stressed and combination of other things, that can be enough to set someone off, guys. That's enough for some people. One thing didn't go right. Done. The rest of their day is done. Nothing else matters. They're fixated on that now. They're fixated on the wrong thing. And perfectionists will tell themselves, if I can't get this thing right, then there's no point to doing it at all. If I can't work out every day, then I'm not going to work out at all. I did that. So I wanted to talk about this in particular because it's very much connected. And if you are somebody who identifies as someone like that, you're not alone, right? It happens to a lot of us, but it's something that you can work through, and it is very much possible for you to improve your relationship with yourself. Now, I know that if you're anything like me and you're watching this video, you're probably thinking like, you don't want to end up being somebody who doesn't work hard, or you don't want to end up being somebody who babies yourself. You don't want to tell yourself that things are easy. You don't want to forgive yourself. You need to move. You need to win. I get it. You might not think I get it, but I get it. Sure. But also a part of the truth is that failure is just a part of life and a part of all things. And you cannot and will not be good at everything always the first time. I'm sorry. It's reality. Hopefully this video has been interesting for you to watch. I'd love to see your opinions in the comments down below. I'll be back in another video on this channel, most likely next week. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.